Here's a common dilemma that I see from retirees. You have real estate, whether it be primary residence or investment property real estate that's generating income, and you get to retirement and you don't know the benefit of that income versus the drawbacks that come with that income. Meaning, should you sell your properties and invest into another asset class, such as stocks, bonds, or a mixture in a brokerage account, or should you allow that income to flow into retirement, which is often coming with other responsibilities, such as having to actively manage or even manage others. Also, there's a liquidity concern. How do you make sense of all this? That's what today's video is about. So if you're about to retire and you're thinking about how to do real estate, I'm going to walk through how I think about this. And much of this video is going to go beyond the numbers. It's going to go beyond thinking through what real estate actually does for your financial plan, because at the end of the day, it has to work for your goals. I'm Forrest Dutton. I'm the owner of Brightworks Financial Planning. I'm a certified financial planner. I love to do these videos to help you retire with confidence. Today's video is not personal financial, tax, or investment advice. It's just for education. Let's jump in. Let's start number one with your primary residence. This one is a little bit more straightforward, meaning should I pay off the mortgage or should I not in retirement? I want to focus most of this video on the second question, which is what do I do with investment property? But I'll at least go through the qualitative aspects of how I think about a home. So let me paint you a picture. We have a couple, they're retiring, they live on the lake, they've put in a nice pool, they have every amenity they've ever wanted. It's the nicest house they've ever owned. They moved there 10 to 15 years ago, and we start our meeting and we talk through what does retirement actually mean? And they think, my favorite place in the world is my home, right? What if they have a mortgage going into retirement? Does that change the calculus of do they have to aggressively pay off that mortgage? My answer is unequivocally no, because your goals are first and foremost. So again, there are ways to analyze this. It's not the point of this video. But what I want to discuss with you is if your home means a lot more to you, meaning some retirees view the home base as the main thing. We want to spend a lot of time out by the pool. We want to relax. We want our grandkids to come. Our community comes. We're going to have meals with friends. We're going to host all the time. That's a totally different retirement than someone who says, my home is a launch pad, meaning most of my retirement is going to be spent away from the home. The home is a place where we stay for days at a time, maybe a week or two to recharge before we go out to the next thing. In that case, the home doesn't mean as much. So the first thing I want you to think about when you retire is what does my home actually mean for my goals? That's the first thing. The second thing is, again, there's the analytical part, which is, can we afford a mortgage? There's a bias that says if you're retired, you shouldn't have any debt whatsoever, and I strongly disagree with that. So I just want to throw that out there. I don't think this has to be a moratorium on having a mortgage in retirement. So I want to throw that out there. But let's go to really the main part of this video, which is real estate investments. Many retirees love the idea of just continuing to have rental property income. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I want to go through an exercise here to think about the things that you give up in order for that to be present. So the first things that come to mind to me are flexibility and liquidity. So it's great for you to have that rental income come in every month, but the problem here is you lose flexibility and liquidity. Oftentimes in retirement, you want to be able to react. So meaning your child's unexpectedly having a second or third child. You didn't think that would happen. You want to be there. You want to give them a big gift. You want to take them on a big trip. Maybe there's a family reunion. Maybe it's some old friends, or maybe it's family members that you want to just take that once in a lifetime trip. The problem is if you have steady rental income, you just can't take those one-time chunks out of it because it doesn't exist, right? It's a house or an apartment, however, whatever it is, that provides a check for you monthly, but it limits your ability to really seize the moment. So I think that's one thing I think most people underestimate. The second thing would be it constrains your own liquidity needs, meaning you have to keep more cash on hand if you have rental properties, because when that roof caves in, when the big storm comes, when the HVAC goes out, you just have to have the cash to be able to do that even if you do hire property management for the day-to-day, those big capital costs still fall on you. So that's something to really think about. And the third one is peace of mind and simplicity. Again, most of this is not financial. Again, the liquidity piece is, but it's just, would you want to get the call on Wednesday afternoon interrupting your great meal with friends, or in your vacation that you went to Europe, that the roof needs repair on your rental property? It just puts a damper on things, meaning you're going to be constantly active in this, meaning real estate is far from passive. Anyone who's had investment properties knows at the end of the day, you've still got to do a lot to make this work. So do you want that? Do you want a more turnkey, simple, peaceable retirement? If the answer is yes, you should really think about, is real estate income really that important to me? Because for most people, you're not going to see a huge arbitrage or difference between the income you're getting from real estate and what the value of that property would be, and then invested, and then taking regular withdrawals. So in reality, it's a qualitative question before it's a quantitative question, meaning what matters more to you. So if you like the fact that you can not have to worry about what's going wrong and you want to sleep better at night, then sometimes rental property in retirement is just not worth it. The other thing to think about is, how long do you want to keep this? So for a lot of people, the strategy is they're just going to keep their rental property and then roll it into another property and then basically keep it in their name. And if it is titled in their name, they will die with the property. It will go to their descendants or their heirs, and it will receive a step up in basis. And so that family member can decide, do they want to sell it or not. The other thing I think that misses with that strategy is, especially if you have a sizable rental real estate portfolio, is you need to make sure that that is set up so that things move smoothly. Just because you give it to someone doesn't mean it makes their life easy. So this is where estate planning can come into to play. So I would say, really think about, how many properties do you have? How do you want that to flow in terms of estate planning? Because if the next generation is really, really not looking forward to inheriting all those properties, and again, worst problems to have, because it means that they inherit something of value, but it is something worth considering. So these are the qualitative aspects of rental income. And then there's one other financial planning piece that I want you to consider. Rental income is just that, it's income. So when you work and then you go to retire, say you don't have rental properties, you have a little bit more flexibility over your distribution and tax bracket, because you can pull money from your invested accounts in different ways in different years to do some tax planning. So you lose that ability when you retire with rental real estate, because you just have regular income coming in. That could affect things like your IRMA, Medicare surcharge. It could affect things such as just your tax bracket in retirement, your Social Security taxation. There's so many other factors that could play in here. So it's something for you to think about. If you're someone who wants the flexibility to do early tax planning, then having only all rental income kind of shoots that down. It's very difficult to do it. So just wanted to walk you through this. Hope it's helpful. Love to hear your comments. What areas do you consider when you think about rental real estate and retirement? I want to hear it. So please comment below. As always, like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next video.